throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Texans going up against the Browns. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, it's the Thursday opener for the new NFL season between the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League. As they run the counter play. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Offensive starters here. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, a talented wide receiver.
And he's still looking for that ultimate recognition. He wants to be mentioned with the best receivers in the game. His numbers suggest that we should do so.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play. But when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
Having an effective short passing game, one of their main concern coming into this one, right there, able to hit the D with a quick strike and a first down.
And you're able to put that into your game plan when you see...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their big-bodied receiver, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Browns have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They come up in an offset eye. Looking to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. They'll look to throw here. And he comes back with one complete.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down, or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And now we get our first look at a guy who's been around the block a time or two. He will not be rattled today.
And that changes things for a defensive coordinator, because normally when you get the young guys, you get the rookies, you throw all the exotic blitzes at them and looks they haven't seen. But this guy, he's seen it all.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing right, and that's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So that'll do it for the first quarter as we kick off another season. 7-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front, because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They're going to look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. You're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield. What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their big tight end add 6 to their lead. And he's a reliable target. He's more than that, though. Hey, look, I'm not going to say he's the best tight end in the league, but he's solid.
Yeah, because he's able to block, and that's almost a lost art for a number of the tight ends in the league now, because the most popular guys are almost what we call move tight ends, more like receivers. But those guys who can do it all, there's still a place for them in the NFL.
And he'll take it out of the side of the end zone, and they'll get it at the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
You know, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trick in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here we go. 3-19. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. He'll drop to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. And they're going to speed things up here. Back to throw now on first down. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Room here to run. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd.
Let's go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to float this one deep right side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Hey, you. Yeah, you. John. Why'd you skip Larry's halftime? I'm just kidding. I don't know who you are. But if you're John, maybe you're pretty freaked out for a second. All right, let's get to the 3rd quarter. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll set up a throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 12 yards is the pickup there, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a 4th down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback, right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive line.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver from 4 yards out. And the Browns add on to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now whistles and a timeout signaled here by the offense. And that's their first of this second half. A try here for the extra point. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Look at the big man rumble. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Now the extra point. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Back to throw here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Let's go! Ohio! 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 Ohio!
And the play clock's running down. And they give this time to the tailback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Fresh set of downs here.
There's no secret to beating a 3-4 when you're trying to run the ball up the middle. You have to control the guy over the nose of the center. And oftentimes, he's awfully hard to move. That's why he's there. A big guy, usually north of 300 pounds, with some agility. But somehow, you got to figure out how to move him. And most teams will double the nose. Center and a guard trying to move him to one side or the other, and when they're able to do that successfully, as just happened here, that's when you get big-time running plays.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. And look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done. Now, that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. That's caught at the 1. Call it a gain of 3. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Let's go!
3rd and goal now. The defense looking to, and he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
They'll look to throw, and this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Houston. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Surveying the field. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Pulled in at the 24. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. They come out here in the eye. They'll look to throw here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller, because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Man, just couldn't hang on to the slam. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And here comes the Texans now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Looking to throw, and this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Browns, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden.